Hello, this is Mr. Hornsby 83 with another edition of Mr. Hornsby 83 Review, Episode 2. And today I will be reviewing, in my opinion, probably the opinion of a lot of the other fans, the greatest anime movie ever, Vampire Hunter D. And, this movie's based in the future from, after destruction or whatever. And, it starts out with Doris Lang hunting down some dinosaur-looking creature, which is kind of weird. And, her and her horse Luke, and she runs into a werewolf after she catches the dinosaur, which takes off her little cross crucifix on her necklace. And then enters the head villain, Count Magnus Lee, who is a descendant of Dracula, which you'll find out more about that storyline as I talk more and more about it. You find out more about it in the movie when you watch it. And a lot of people who've seen this know what the D stands for in D. But then after she has the encounter with the Count, here comes D. He's riding in on his horse, and she's standing right there in the middle of the field, blocking his way, being rude to him, and tries to attack him with her whip, but he just brushes it off like nothing, like, that ain't gonna bother me. But, this movie is really great. It's one of the best animes ever. The storyline's really good in it. I mean, there's a lot of great things about this movie. I mean, I can't say enough. You think my love for Ninja Scroll was something? It's double for this, because I really love this movie. And it's like a lot of scenes where he's like interacting with Doris's brother Danny, and Doris is starting to fall in love with him. He's starting to fall in love with her, and so it goes a little more into that. It also goes into the fact that Count Magnus Lee's daughter is not happy that he bit a human woman, and she finds out. Well, she calls her a stupid, dumb country girl who shuns the honor of being chosen by a great count but she finds out anyway at the end, toward the end, that she's not a full-blooded vampire either, so. But the movie, the action's really good in this. Yeah, it starts out with just getting the story ready, then it jumps right into the action, or the part where Dee storms the castle. He goes after everybody and wipes out half of freaking Magnus Lee's minions. Takes down, and he's got to take on the witches of, I can't remember the last part, but I know they were witches. They turn into like these snake creatures. They start trying to suck his life force, and he eventually gets free. Doris went to the castle. He gets free, saves Doris, just wipes out almost everybody. I mean, that's one of the greatest scenes of the movie, is like, after he's done whipped through all the monsters, he goes, saves Doris, knocks the Count's daughter out of the way. Well, not really knocks her out, but pushes her away from Doris, and runs out and kills the minions on the way out. It's just amazing, amazing scene. And something I didn't realize before, when I used to watch this movie, the visuals were great. This is my first time owning it in my collection, but every time I caught it on TV, I always watched it. That's how much I love it. But I finally got it on DVD, and I'm glad I have it. And now I'm going to get toward the end where, one of the minions of Count Magnus Lee gets this candle that paralyzes anybody with vampire blood. And Dee is a vampire. He's got vampire blood, and you'll find out who his dad is at the end. People who watch it probably already know, but he goes, he wears Dee down, stabs him with a stake, chops his hand off. His hand's a little creature, his left hand's a little creature-looking thing. That's kind of, you can tell it's anime when you got a talking hand. But the movie is very great. There's another scene I want to talk about before I get to the end. There's a part where Doris, the doctor that was helping her out, got turned by Magnus Lee's daughter, or Magnus Lee, one of them. And he betrays Doris, and then the Count's daughter kills him, and he says, "Please forgive me." And Doris is in the shower. She's upset because the guy was like a father figure to her. And he even said so up until the day he got bitten, that she was like a daughter to him. And then there's a scene where, you know, she's looking for Dee's coming back in from, I guess, fixing the barrier to keep the demons and vampires and all that out. And she talks to Dee, then she gives him a hug, and like then like her hair kind of splits, and he sees her neck bare, and he starts, you know, I guess you could say jizzing out. but you know, he controls himself, and you know, like I said, for people who know this, for people who've seen this, knows who Dee's dad is, and his father sure wouldn't have showed the control that he showed. That's for sure. Everybody knows that. But now we get to where, you know, she got captured. They all thought Dee was dead, but he comes back because his hand revives him or whatever by eating dirt and all that. Eating dirt and, you know, smacking him on the stomach and chest. And he eventually revives. He goes, he saves Doris. He kills the Count. Then at the end, he looks at the picture of Dracula, because Count Magnus Lee is a descendant of one of the greatest vampires ever, Dracula. Gotta put that in there. Because, you know, Dracula was their great ancestor. They called him the most noble of all. But, you know, after he beats Magnus Lee, he's like, throws his sword through him, and he's like stuck on, which the fight scene was pretty good between the two. He's stuck, and then he looks at the picture of Dracula, he's like, "Are you the son of our great lord Dracula?" And Dee basically says yeah to Magnus's daughter, and you know, the castle collapses. His daughter stays there because she didn't want to be known as a human, because Dee told her, well, you're also part human, so you should live like a human like me. Because Count Magnus Lee told her mom was a normal woman. And basically the movie's over at this point. You see Dee ride off into the sunset, Doris and her brother Dan waving bye, telling him to come back and everything. And then the credits roll. But overall, I give this movie, if I was doing it, I'd give this a 5 out of 5. If I was doing a 10-point scale, I'd give it a 10 out of 10. If I was doing a 20-point scale, I'd give it a 20 out of 20. That's how much I love this movie. One of the greatest animes ever. If you don't have it, you've never seen it, you should check it out. Vampire Hunter D, the best. Thank you. Please like this video, subscribe, and comment. Thank you. Good night. Peace out.